All right, guys, welcome back. It is April 17th, 2026 when I'm making this video. I managed to find a little bit of quiet time to myself, although it's not exactly really quiet. I do have some businesses around me with their air conditioning units running. And in the sky above me, from time to time, you may be hearing jets fly over, airplanes fly over, because the Sun Fun is going on this week here in Lakeland, Florida. And it tends to be very loud, but quite spectacular at the same time, which you wouldn't see any of in this video because you'd have to be looking up, and I'm not making this on a 360 camera. However, I hope that I can make this video relatively unimpeded. So what I was thinking about was how every once in a while, we can have a day that seems relatively normal. Things are moving along, clicking along rather well. We may feel relaxed, we may feel at ease and enjoying ourselves, and then something happens, right? Something happens and we find out that all of a sudden things almost couldn't be worse, right? I mean, maybe you're on the way to work and you felt like you got enough sleep the night before, which is kind of unusual. Things were going great and you run into a traffic jam, or you get pulled over by a motorcycle cop those guys are absolutely merciless, right? Or you get told that you're going to be given a different shift. Maybe you get a bill in the mail and you forgot about something and realize, oh, I'm in some hot water here. Or maybe you get some news. One of your kids finds out that their girlfriend's pregnant, or who knows what, right? I mean, there's a whole list of things that could happen right in the middle of things going well for you, right? I mean, it happens all the time. In fact, on my job as an energy analyst now, what we see oftentimes is people suddenly get extremely high bills. Things seem to be going well. They're enjoying the comfort of their home. They get this bill in the mail for 2-3 times as much as what they normally pay. Comes out, they find out that they have something wrong with your air conditioner, right? You only find out these things, these water leaks, these heat strips being stuck on. You don't know about it until you do, right? So anyway, what do you do in situations like that? How do you take it? Are you a well-humored person where you just take it in stride? Well, maybe occasionally we can do that, but it's really difficult. It's really hard to do that. It takes a lot of discipline, it takes some experience, it takes a lot of doing things, reacting to things the wrong way in order to realize that there's probably a better way to handle things, and everything is fixable. Everything is overcomable. Well, almost everything. Maybe not every single thing, but a lot of things, most things in life are. We can always turn this ship around at some point, but it doesn't feel like it when we're in the middle of it, right? It might take a while. But we can do it. What makes me think of this is there's a story I read about a woman who, in the report, remained unnamed. She was in her 40s. She was hiking in state of Washington's Olympic State Park, National Park, whatever it is. I don't know. My brother actually lives up that way. If you've ever been there, if you were from that area, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not too familiar with it, but I know it was up there in one of these probably very beautiful places to hike. And she was walking her dog on its leash, and she decided she needed to use the bathroom, right? And there's an outhouse, I guess, on the trail. And she decided that she'd make that pit stop. So while she was doing that, she decided to check her phone. Now, you might be thinking, well, if you're on a hike, why would you check your phone? I thought you were supposed to be relaxing. This is a good time to not look at it, but we all do stuff like this. We all know these kind of things, and we hear about these stories, but we're all guilty of them. Anyway, she checked her phone, and what happened to her is what we're all afraid is going to happen to us when we're on the toilet, right? We're afraid we're going to drop our phone into it. She did. But if you drop your phone into your toilet, it's easily retrievable. It's not fun. It's going to be messy. But if you do it in an outhouse, well, it's down there. There's a whole lot of problems that come with that, right? And it's not going to be easy to get. So she decided that she's going to try to retrieve it, right? And so she decided to kind of go in head first. She tied the end of the dog leash to the door, and then she grabbed the other end of it, I guess, to support herself, right? To tether herself. And she goes in head first. Well, she apparently lost her grip and fell in head first. Well, this is apparently kind of deep, right? I mean, further down than what maybe I'm used to thinking of when I think of an outhouse. I don't know how deep they go, but she couldn't get out. She tried for 20 minutes after she found her phone, after she got her phone. She tried for 20 minutes to get out of this thing and couldn't. So she decided to call 911 because she realized she still had cell service. The responders showed up. They, I guess, lowered a platform down to get her. I can't even imagine really what this looked like. I mean, how hard was this stinky abyss to get out of? But anyway, it was, apparently. They did. It took them some time, but they got her out and they sprayed her down and put a hazmat suit on her and tried to take her to the hospital, but she refused medical attention. There's some planes flying over now. Anyway, she refused medical attention. And yeah. She said she just wanted to go home. And I get that. She just wanted to go home. Now, I don't know what became of her. I don't know how she tells the story to everybody else, but this is how it was reported. And you can only imagine what she must have felt like. Now, this kind of reminded me of a story related to my work. Back when Hurricane Milton happened down here, it was a pretty big deal, right? A lot of flooding and a lot of devastation. And one of my coworkers, who was riding with somebody else at the time, surveying damage and finding out what needed to be taken care of, they were in a backyard, and it was very overgrown, very, very overgrown. And I think it was Charlie, one of my friends. He said he was with this guy named AJ, and he said AJ was there 1 second and he turned around, AJ was gone. Not for long, but only for maybe a couple of seconds. But it's one of those moments that kind of probably slows down, right? Kind of slows down. You wonder what the heck just happened. What happened was that he fell into what seemed like a hole, and he disappeared into this murky water. All right. And when I talked to him about it, he said he went down and he came back up really quick, but it was all over. It was in this brush. What he didn't know was he was standing over a swimming pool that was completely overgrown. Didn't even know. You couldn't tell. They showed me pictures. You couldn't tell if there was a swimming pool there. He got back out, and the firefighters came and they sprayed him down. He had to strip down to a certain point. Sprayed him down. They took him to the hospital, checked him out. He's all right, and he went right back to work. I would have been taking advantage of that and saying, no, I'm a little traumatized. I'm not going back to work the rest of the day, right? And knowing that he probably would have gotten paid anyway, but he didn't do that. He went back to work. But it just goes to show you that you can be minding your own business, doing your own thing. Things can be moving along smoothly. Everything's going your way. It's just a normal day, and crap happens. Doesn't it? I don't know what kind of life story I can glean from this, what kind of life lesson I should say could glean from this. But I guess I could tell you that it happens to all of us, right? It happens to all of us. None of us are immune to it, and it's a guarantee that we're all going to go through it, right? Through it. down into it, as in this woman's case, and resurface. Best case scenario, resurface. Maybe we'll need some help. Maybe we'll climb out on our own. We'll overcome it, and you'll have a story to tell. Although some stories are probably worth not repeating. I mean, in AJ's case, there's no shame in it, right? In this woman's case, I don't know if I'd be telling anybody I was willing to go head down into an outhouse to retrieve my phone. Maybe that's the lesson here. Some stories should be kept to ourselves, but she probably couldn't avoid it. I mean, when you get other people involved, when you get first responders involved, it may hit the news. I say that, but then I see things happen all the time in my environment that are newsworthy. Crashes, people lying dead on the road. I look for it in the news or the newspaper or some kind of a report to find out what happened. Doesn't make it. I don't know. I don't understand that. But then things like this will, right? Hopefully you will be able to redeem yourself from such a recounting. But anyway, do you have after having said all that, maybe I shouldn't ask, but do you have a story like that you want to share? But think about it before you do. What did you learn from it? And how did you recover? Were you angry? Did you sue somebody? Really? Did you keep your cool? I don't know. You know, I've learned that as time's gone by, I'm not completely really good at it, but I've learned to maybe just stop and not react so quickly to things. And it's extremely difficult. And in fact, the smaller the incident appears to be, as inconvenient and as gross as it might appear, the smaller the incident is, the more difficult it is to react to it well, right? The big things that occur that people see us go through, we tend to be on our mark a little bit better, don't we? But the world, life itself, seems to know what buttons to push, and it will try. It will push this one. It'll push that one, and you're getting better. You're getting better at these things. But life has a way of testing you. Going, oh, that didn't get to you? Well, wait till you see what I have coming next. So be on your toes. Learn to let some things go. Maybe that's another one. If your phone falls down into an outhouse, maybe you should just let that go, right? Maybe that's the takeaway here. I don't know if I'd be keeping that phone anyway. All right. I don't know. What do you think of this? All right, guys. I appreciate you watching. I hope you got a little bit of wisdom from this. I hope that you can keep your head out of the crapper and think straight when things go down. All right? Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. In the meantime, be wise.